And do we have anyone online? I should ask first.
No, but and we're supposed to have a speaker.
Uh-oh.
Yes, Svetlana.
She did write to me a few hours ago. So.
What did she say? Oh, just giving her
sent
intro.
me, yeah,
Yeah,
I can send her a message.
yeah, do that.
Oh wait, I see a sorry. She's running late.
Okay.
So she is
All
running
right.
late, okay. And she does have the right link, because there was 2 links floating around for a while. So, okay.
Our Toastmaster of the day is Abby Tall Miller, who is, of course, an incredibly accomplished woman in a multitude of ways. She is the author of Healing Happens, and since launching her book just 4 months ago, she's spoken about it in over 4 countries and 10 cities. That's a lot of flying. But on top of that, what you may not know is that Abby Tall has traveled to over 25 countries in her lifetime in all 50 states. She's a former program manager at Microsoft, an award-winning international keynote speaker, healing breakthrough facilitator, and global dancer. Please help me welcome Abby Tall.
After doing all this travel recently and with more travel ahead, I thought I would make the theme today travel. The interesting, unique things that come up while traveling. In Toastmasters, we think about how to communicate effectively when we're giving different types of talks. When you travel to different countries and you meet different people in different languages, you want to figure out how to communicate as well in all of those different languages, just like we do when we're giving talks. One tip for traveling is people love it when you speak their language, but be careful because that you know the language, because you may be trying to say that you felt embarrassed and instead you're going to say that you are pregnant. Brian has never done that.
Spanish.
What we are also doing is traveling into the story and the characters of many of our wonderful members in the club today. I'm very excited for this team that is here today and coming together to fulfill all the different roles. Everyone has such a dynamic background, and some people have a very long history with Toastmasters as well. To bring to the club today, we have a grammarian who is Brian back there. Brian always has funny things to say about people in coffins. And today, what is our word?
Well, in light of the fact that we are, the theme of the day is traveling, sometimes tourists can be persnickety. And we certainly don't want to be one of those types of tourists when we're traveling abroad. So persnickety means to be fussy about small details, or sometimes we get a little bit of persnickety about maybe how things look or how people act. So persnickety is the word of the day. I'll also be listening for some ums and ahs and those kinds of things. We do have our grammarian here now.
Marion.
Oh,
Come on.
hey, Cody. It's hard to recognize him. Oh, yeah.
This stranger
last
here.
week.
Marion, and so Cody, if you would like to use persnickety, you're welcome to do that.
As long as you're not going to be persnickety about it.
And then Cody will be looking for ums and ahs and those sorts of things. Do we have any paper available? Yes.
In the box that the computer's on. We also need the
Okay,
timing.
while you're in there.
Oh,
The
here.
timing sheets are in there too.
Do you want to just use oh.
Timing sheets
Ah,
would be
Right.
timing sheets.
Sure.
Perfect.
Wait.
I will add in a little bit about Cody while you guys are digging into the box, just to keep us moving along. We also have Svetlana here, so now we've got everybody traveling from all over the world right here today with us. Thank you. One thing that I like to think about Cody, from the little that I've seen from him, is that he's very courageous and courageous with language, and courageous to speak with humor, and courageous to speak in all different kinds of circumstances. So I'm glad that you're here today to help guide us with our speech. Make sure that you keep us on track. We also have a timer here. Julia has a specialty with numbers. So she is a perfect person to look at the numbers of time. She also knows how to budget time because she is a mom. She is the fit money doctor. She travels all over the place taking trainings and gives talks all over the place. Would you share more about your role as the timer, please?
Yes, so today my job will be to be persnickety about the time. So green will be your first warning, and then yellow will be 30 seconds out, and then red will be you're out of time.
Thank you. We have another role today. That is Table Topics with Dave Kaufman. He is another longtime member of Toastmasters. If you've heard him speak before or come up with Table Topics questions, you will know that he is very creative and very good at pulling the right things out of us for Table Topics. Would you like to share more about Table Topics, please?
Well, I hope we'll be successful at pulling things out of people. It's not like pulling teeth. What I'm going to do today is inspired by the dog days of summer. So that's just enough to tease you and throw you completely off guard.
Thank you, Dave. Susan Whitecamp is our general evaluator. She has come, despite having crutches, she has made it all the way in. It's very good to see her. For her work as a fisheries biologist, she really affects discern and be clear. She really cares about what's happening for this planet on a lot of levels and what's happening for each of us. That's part of what she's doing for us as general evaluator. She also does it as part of the treasurer of the club. Lori, would you like to share more about your role as general evaluator?
My role as general evaluator is to be persnickety about the people that don't get evaluated, such as the Toastmaster and the speech evaluator.
Okay, thank you. We are adjusting the order of things a little bit today to adjust the schedule. Don't be thrown off. We're going to go straight from speaker to evaluator and then continue in our normal flow. Our first speaker is Christina Book. The title of her talk is Schedule Your Next Adventure. I love this because she's actually so good at facilitating other people's adventures that I feel she got one of the best jobs that she could get on the Central Coast, which is being the adventure director with Salishan Adventure. She holds a master's degree in experiential education and a recreation leadership bachelor's. She has worked in the adventure education field for over 12 years and now manages the new Eco Adventure program outside Lincoln City, Oregon. She's married with no kids, no pets, but enjoys international vacations 2 to 3 times a year for recreation and culture connections. She's the VP of Public Relations for the Yaquita Toastmasters Club. The type of speech she is doing is an information session with staff and sales team, and the objectives are to practice basic information speech about her programs and offerings for summer and a glimpse at the future, and this is a 5 to 7 minute speech. Get ready as well because she will be taking questions. Kathleen Rissman will be closely watching her as the teacher that she is in order to help evaluate her and help Christina make an excellent presentation for her staff and team. Welcome, Christina.
Good morning, ladies and gentlemen, fellow Toastmasters. I am Christina Book, if you haven't met me already. I'm one of the directors of the Salishan Adventure Program. We partner with Salishan Resort to provide an eco-adventure and outdoor recreation opportunities for resort guests as well as community members. This year we have launched our water-based program. We are starting off by providing guided tours in kayaks and stand-up paddleboards. For this summer, we will be providing services of these tours Thursday through Sunday in our busy times. And we'll have one trip in the morning and one trip in the afternoon. Tours are going to last about 3 hours in length, and that's getting you set up with all of your equipment, giving you an orientation, and about 2 hours on the water and transportation to and from. Now, we're not just another outfitter. We're not just another kayak store. We have diligently looked through various types of equipment and picked our equipment based off of comfort, integrity, and quality, many of it coming from here on the Oregon coast or central the western United States. We will sit down with you and ensure that the kayaks and stand-up paddleboards are the right size, that they're fitted to your body, that your foot pegs are the right length so you can move your boat right efficiently, that you're comfortable, which means we're going to provide those comfort items you wouldn't usually get. Splash jacket if it's a little rainy or you think you'll get splashed a little bit, or booties if you don't want to get your shoes wet, or even gloves if you have poor circulation like I do. These items just make your experience just to that next level. And these kayaks, I would buy them for myself, not just another piece of plastic. So if you're not looking to have a guided tour, we do offer rentals 7 days a week. So if you want to rent a sit-on-top kayak, we've got 10-footers, 12-footers, and even a 14-foot tandem for you. Within our stand-up paddleboards, we also have the 11-footers and the 12-footers. So we can find something that's right for you. At this time, we're not providing opportunities to transport your equipment for you. So you will have to have a roof rack that can hold the correct weight, as well as straps to strap it down. So where can you find us? We are located in the Salishan Resort Complex, I like to call it. The resort is up on the hill, and down in the lower west section is the Salishan Marketplace. We're located just across from Fitness 101 in the southwest corner. We currently are in our temporary office just north of our permanent facility that should open in about 3 months. That leads me to what's next. Our Salishan Oregon Coast Outfitters will be the official name for our retail store. We're going to offer clothing, camping equipment, beach equipment, containers, and even some fun trinkets. Our goal is to make sure that your outdoor experience is classy, comfortable, and unforgettable. This retail experience is something that you will not experience anywhere in Lincoln County. You can also come to this location to schedule your tours. Come into the office, we'll help you schedule. It will also be the location that all of our tours and rentals depart from and return to. So just off the highway, really easy to get to. So in the coming seasons, we have big visions. We can't do it all at once, so we've phased out our projects. Our next project that we're looking to add is going to be our aerial adventure park. Many of you have probably seen this already as you drive down the highway. There's pieces of it that are already built. In the end, once it's all finished, we'll have 20 high elements for any individual looking for a little bit more higher risk and maybe a little bit more height in general. We're hoping that this will open in the next 3 months, but we're just unsure at this time. After that, we hope to bring our full-on biking program to the Oregon coast, offering mountain bikes, front suspension only, or full suspension, as well as beach bikes and electric bikes. This means if you've got the little ones, the middle ones, the adults, and even the older ones, we've got a bike that's going to fit you and fit even your personality, get you on your way. Electric bikes, they're pretty dang cool. You can go like 20 miles an hour and just at a really slow cadence. These bikes as part of this program would be for rent, so there would be a cost associated with it. With all of our tours and our rentals, different costs do apply, and you do get a perk if you're staying at the resort. So if you have family members that are coming into town and they're looking for a place to stay, have them stay up at Salishan Resort, and they'll get a little bit of a discount for you and your family to go on an adventure with us. If you're interested in signing up, you can call us at the Salishan Resort at 541-764-3690, or you can register online at salishan.com, and our sites has not been posted yet. That's the basics of our program as we have it right now. Of course, things are always developing and changing, and we're really looking to bring the best recreational experience to the community and to the guests. I do want to open it up for a couple of questions. If you guys have any more details that you would like. Yes, Kathleen?
Where do the kayak tours actually go for what water are you in?
Absolutely. So our kayak tours are going to be mostly in the Siletz River area. So we have the Siletz River. We do an upper and a lower section, each about 3 miles in length. We have permission to do commercial floats through the National Wildlife Refuge in the Siletz Bay, and then the Siletz Bay itself. We will also be offering some skills and lower, easier trips, we'll say, up at Devil's Lake. Yes.
How long can you rent a kayak? Do they do it for like a week?
Yes. Yeah, our rates vary. We have an hourly rate for those that just want to take it a couple hours, a 4-hour, and then a full day. And then we're working out our prices depending on what we see of how long people actually want to rent for. Yes.
Being the cost-conscious dad that I am, curious, as you mentioned, if you stay at the Salishan, if they have a discount.
Yeah.
How about for local community people?
So we do have a group discount, I will say. So 5 or more, we do have a group discount.
So I could bring my grandkids.
Yes, yes, absolutely. So 5 or more, I want to say it's about 10% off or so. Our tours are ranging about 110 per person right now. I always put out there, like, our equipment is not just a piece of plastic that we're throwing you in the water on. We've really made sure that it's comfortable, and those add-ins, the gloves, splash jackets, and booties, they're at no extra charge. Where other places you would have to rent those individually. So we really kind of throw those in to make sure that your experience is super great. Yes, last good.
Thought about making discounts for locals in low season or quieter days for me.
Yes, and some of it is a combination between the resort and us, as it is a full partnership between the two. So we're still working that out and establishing it. We just opened yesterday as our official hours, so yay. And we'll be offering trips all the way through October, and then we'll stop for the season because it's a little chilly and a little stormy. So yeah, excellent. Well, visit our website or come and ask me questions. I would love to see you guys out on the water and come visiting us.
Thank you.
How young? 6.
Thank you, Christina.
How old?
Please take a very quick moment to write feedback for Christina and pass it along to her. Julia, what was her time?
Well, the speech part was 6 minutes, but with the Q&A, it was 8 minutes and 42 seconds.
Okay. Now, I will go ahead. Kathleen, are you ready? I'm going to go ahead and call Kathleen up here right away. What you mentioned is she's a retired English teacher and a longtime member of 24 years of Toastmasters. She's an excellent person to evaluate this speech. Let's go, Kathleen.
Well, Toastmasters, I need to start by saying this is a very nice way to be running the meeting. I like the way that you are doing your introductions. It makes it a little bit more formal and emphasizes the different talents and abilities each person has. I've appreciated that today. Christina, loved your talk. My goodness, I have to admit that typically when I am in an environment where people are describing their services, my first thought is, oh no, another sales pitch. This did not sound like one. It sounded very much like you were prepared to involve the people, and did you notice that there were lots of questions afterwards? And I think that was really important for what you were doing. I think that one of the things that I would have suggested ordinarily is that you tend to keep your gestures right here. And with the lectern, it's hard for us to see them. But I suspect that when you are out discussing with other people and sharing your information, that you do not have a lectern in front of you and that your gentle gestures are just exactly the kind of thing that they need to see. my favorite gesture, if all of you happen to be noticing, when she was talking about people being able to steer, and she wiggled, and that added some personality to your speech as you were talking. I liked too when you were talking and using the phrase "not just another." You use it twice very close together, and another time a little bit later. It serves to emphasize in our minds this is something special, and it is unusual for our community. And I was really noticing that worked out very well to be saying that in your speech. There are two things for speaking that I would do differently. One phrase was a little bit more higher. That is not a local colloquialism. You may want to cut that down or take that. The other thing is, and it's just a personal thing with me, I don't know if it bothers the rest of you, but hearing you guys as part of a talk, I'm not a guy, and so when I was teaching, I would generally use the word folks, possibility, or not even use it all. You could just simply have said you would enjoy and not have to say that you guys would. Something else that I really liked about your speech is that you were personally very professional. I could see you standing in front of a group feeling very calm, very comfortable, and not having an issue with, oh, goodness, what are these people thinking? You have confidence in your product, you have confidence in your audience, you have an energy that is just right for what you are trying to share, and your vision of the future, I felt, was very helpful for me to know, because I would like to come back and then know, oh, there are going to be things in the future. And so I do want to compliment you. It was an excellent speech, and I'm glad that we had some questions afterwards, and I'm looking to hear more about what's occurred.
I think a lot of us are sold. We're ready.
Yeah, oh,
Yeah,
yeah.
see what you got.
Can I say one quick thing as a mentor for Christian? I also wanted to point out that there were very, very few ums and ahs. It
Oh,
was
yes.
just
You
that
did
impressive.
amazing.
Good job.
And when I did it, I was like,
Very, very good.
Yeah. What's interesting is I've given this speech many times, like a variation thereof, and then like I think I was more nervous standing up here than I am.
That's really good that you notice when they're happening too, because if we don't have the conscious awareness, it's hard to take away those audible pauses. I don't know about you all, but I'm on personal adventures now. That was really fun, and it'll help us get rid of any persnickety attitudes. Thank you so much, Christina and Kathleen and Lee, for being here.
And I don't mean to be rude, but I have to go to work now.
We have another speaker coming all the way here from Uzbek. That is Svetlana. She joined Toastmasters on January 1, 2014. And she is Advanced Communicator Silver and the Advanced Leadership Silver. She has an MBA, postgraduate PhD in linguistics. She's an international development professional. Her passion is plant seeds and grow them in her garden, on windowsills, in all sorts of places. She's fascinated by the ability of humankind to grow trees and other plants. We should realize that it's our reason for existing on this planet. The reason has been discovered through the ability of humankind to destroy living conditions by destroying vegetation. We are now responsible for the regrowth and repairs and new renaissance of life on Earth. This is all why her talk today is Straight Talk Project #1 from Legacy, Plant Trees. As she said that the timing is up to 3 minutes for this speech. Let's welcome Svetlana.
Dear fellow Toastmasters, I missed this laughter and this banter, and I hope that by the end of today's speech by me, you will take action. You will be determined to take action. I even bought this t-shirt which says take action. Can you see it? And the beautiful trees here, the flowers. No future without trees. Trees host insects, birds, beasts. Trees host humans. Trees are the real hosts of the planet. They don't need AC in summer, heater in winter. Plant trees. Birds and beasts save the trees by eating fruits and dropping seeds. You think birds and beasts drop seeds because they are stupid? I wish humans were that kind of stupid, because our life depends on trees. Because our life depends on trees. Bees are dying, who pollinate 70% of our food. You think bees pollinate trees to give you honey? No honey. They pollinate because their life depends on trees. Read science. To save bees, plant trees. We are 7 billion humans on this planet. We cut 15 billion trees each year to make beautiful notebooks with pictures of trees on them, to build beautiful houses with ACs and heaters in them. It takes 50 years for the earth to establish one tree. Plant trees. This planet has two suns, the tree kind and the human kind. Let's be our brother's keeper. Your neighborhood is your Noah's Ark. This time, you turn it into a forest or a garden. Turn the food chain into a thought chain, into a love chain, into a life chain. Plant trees. We know that pennies take care of pounds. We learn that trees take care of life. Breathable air, clean water, edible food, cozy shelter, education, open future. Plant trees on your windowsill. Plant trees in your garden, on your street. Plant trees in the mountains, in the fields. Plant trees. They will make Earth great again. Plant trees. That's it.
Oh, fantastic.
Awesome. Thank you so much, Svetlana, for all your enthusiasm. Unfortunately, you can also have greater adventures with Christina. As we travel the world, we can see all the beautiful trees. I did mention that I had a really nice time in Denver, and all my friends there were telling me I should move there. And I said, well, I'd love to spend more time here, but I can't live in this world. I like coming back here and staying with the trees. So if you could all write evaluations for Svetlana, and I'm wondering if our VP Education would be willing to send all of that to Svetlana so she could have that feedback. Just keep in mind, yes, Jim.
Can we ask Svetlana how she's hearing us with this new microphone, if it's any different?
Well, you'll be able to hear the recording later also.
I'm just curious how she's
is our
hearing us.
sound good?
Excellent. Today everything is fine. Yes.
So, but I have a question, Svetlana. Is it different than before?
It is very different than before. It's much, much better.
Awesome.
I can't believe how good it is. Yes.
Good job, team. What was the time of her speech, Julia?
2 minutes and 35 seconds.
Wow, wonderful. I was moving things along so that we could keep going with time for the people who left, but I thought I would share a couple tips about traveling while you're writing your evaluations. One of those is, does anybody have food allergies? I'm the only one. Okay, well, no, Krista raised her hand, or even if you're a little picky about what you eat. And I was in Mexico in this poor town leading a yoga teacher training for a month, and they mostly just fed me foods I was allergic to. Now remember, in other countries, allergy is not even part of the language. What that means is that also when you're in this poor town and they're feeding you 5-course meals, you want to be appreciative. So here's the tip. You pray to God. No, but you rub your hands together. And you feel the heat, you feel energy, and you're just going to send energy to your food, hoping that it matches the vibration of your body so that it goes down well, it tastes well. And then in the evening, when you're laying in bed, you just put your hands on your belly, pray for great digestion. Wake up the next day, be ready ready to teach. And I kid you not, I did not have allergic reactions. And not only that, my face was glowing. We can transform food by our relationship with it. So you can travel anywhere and eat anything now. We don't really have time for table topics, do we? You want to ask one quick question, Dave?
At least two to have a competition.
I know, but we are running out of time. We might just have to do one, Dave. If they answer quickly, we can do a second one. Let's welcome Dave.
Table topics are one of my favorite parts of Toastmasters, so I hate to see us cut them short all the time, or sometimes cutting them out. Dog Day afternoon, or the dog days of summer, got me thinking about pets, but not just the ordinary dogs and cat pets. I want to talk, let's see, who do I want to pick on? Okay.
No, not me.
Okay, well, she says, no, not you. I'll pick on one of the middle-aged timers, not old timers. We'll say Lori Whitecamp. I know you've traveled over a whole many parts of the world. Other than dogs and cats, what is the most exotic, fun kind of pet you've ever had?
So I spent a year and a half living in Tanzania in a park, and we had a baboon troop that we called our pets. And the dominant male we called Mr. Miller, and he was absolutely beautiful because as the dominant male, everybody grooms him all the time. And they really were our pets. They were running around. We had to keep the doors closed, make sure they were latched all the time, because if they got in your hut, it was not good. In fact, one incident that sticks with me, this happened a long time ago, was one of the people that was there, Lauren, we'd go once a week to the little village nearby and get bread. And so by the end of the week, it was always, there was any bread left, it was always very, very stale. Anyway, she baked her very first loaf of bread and had it sitting on the table in the kitchen hut, cooling, and didn't realize the door wasn't latched. And Mr. Miller grabbed it and then had the gall to sit at the end of our driveway and just rip it apart and thoroughly enjoy it. There was nothing Lauren could do. Steam. So yes, pets that are a little on the wild side can be quite interesting, and you can't be very persnickety about what they do or don't do.
We've got a competition here. Well, Laura Lee, what is your favorite pet that is not a dog or a cat? Tell me about that individual favorite pet.
I actually am going to go a tiny bit off topic because I went to BC Wildlife Park this last week and I got to play with wolves. And I got to play with a bobcat. And so my sister and I went and we hid food in their enclosure. And I have dogs, so we stuff food inside a comb and have them play with it to try and get to their food. Well, that's what we kind of did with the bobcat and the wolves. We hid the food all over their enclosure so that they actually had to go and find it instead of just like throw it all in one pile and have them attack it. And one of my favorite things that I got to do is they had things called blood sickles. So it's literally frozen blood. And some of it was melted because it was very hot. And I got to make a trail and have them go find it. And it was probably one of the funnest things I've got to do because I got to sit there and watch them chase the trail all around their enclosure before they could find their prize.
Thank you so much, Dave.
Vote for your favorite.
One of the most fascinating experiences while traveling was in a hot air balloon in Australia, way out in the outback, seeing this kangaroo with a baby in its mouth. Very, very sweet. What were the times of those table topic speeches?
Let's see, Lori was 1 minute and 15 seconds, and Laura Lee was 1 minute and 20 seconds.
Okay, very good. I would like to now call up Jaylene Case. If you haven't heard her speak, she is a powerhouse as a speaker. What an excellent person to be an evaluator. She loves to kayak, sail, hike, ride her motorcycle, do yoga, play with her husband and friends. When she's not playing, she's running her business, offering coaching to people who want to accomplish their dreams and learning experiences to business group who want to be teams focused on the right work. She believes that creating a life you love starts with your heart. Welcome, Jaylene.
Oh, Svetlana, what an awesome talk! I loved that you started it with your clothing. It just set the tone and your energy right off the bat. You brought a completely different energy than what we've ever seen you with, than what I've ever seen you with. And so passionate energy, clothing, you had this strong voice, very active voice, lots of movement, very persuasive and pointing, and it was definitely a persuasive speech. If we're not persuaded to plant trees now, I don't know if we'll ever be. It felt poetic, and the amount of time you took felt like a song. So it felt poetic, and it felt very hip hop. Is actually what I think it was in the end, a hip hop poem. I love that you repeated phrases. So the word tree came up obviously so many times. But other phrases that you just sort of were like a chorus that ran throughout the talk. The challenge I would give to you is to consider varying the pace and maybe adding some pauses to really punctuate some points. Really think about the phrase that you want people to have etched in their mind when you finish. The message I took away was plant trees. There were all kinds of variations of that, but if that was the message, you were very clear in getting that message across. And I loved your energy again. It was brilliant. It was a performance from the heart. I loved it.
Thank you so much.
Julia, what was the time of that evaluation?
I had 2 minutes and 3 seconds.
Okay, thank you. Would you like to add anything else as the timer for the report for the meeting?
Everyone did a great job of staying on track.
Thank you, Julia. Cody, would you please give us a grammarian report?
We did great. Christina, I'm really tired. Christina did probably the best that I've ever seen her do today. And she's not here, but I am really, really proud of the progress that she's made. And the only crutch words that she really used were during the impromptu part of the speech, the Q&A. And I just want to give a big thumbs up to Christina for her progress. And of course, you guys have all been doing great too.
Thank you. Did anybody use the word of the day?
Yeah, like 5 times.
Sorry. Exactly. Dave, do we have enough table topics for that?
We do have a winner.
Okay.
And since we do have a little bit of time, I wanted to share the inspiration for this. Paul said he was going to be here. And so I kind of picked out, I was going to ask him. He had a pet tarantula that he had a string around its abdomen, and he kept it tied to his rear view mirror of his car. And he'd be driving along, and all of a sudden this thing would come down and And he got a big kick out of how that people rarely wanted to ride with him a second time. We do have a winner in a landslide by 1 vote. A lot of people didn't vote, so we got, how are we going to work? Who's taking the pictures today?
I'll take a picture.
I'm just going to reach across the table.
Congratulations, Lori. The meeting officially ends at 7:50, correct?
Correct.
So we will do a very short general evaluation, Lori.
Yes. For general evaluator, I comment on the meeting. I really like the way Krista started the meeting while we're still futzing with the AD stuff and we didn't have a complete thing, because it's really nice for those of us who have to go to work that we're not running really late and able to cover the business part of it, the officer training, etc. quickly. One thing I would recommend to Avital, you did great introductions and it was nice you do the objectives. When you talk very smoothly, and it's hard to tell where one paragraph ends and the next starts. And I suggest that you stop for a second, put a pause in there so that we can now, oh, something else is coming. Because you started on the objectives and then I realized for both speeches, I didn't know what they were because it was so smooth. I never quite got what was the important part. So watch your speech a little bit. Both evaluations were fantastic. Kathleen does amazing. We're laughing in her evaluation. Tell me anybody else who can do that. And as well as Jaylene, you did a great job. The evaluations themselves were enthusiastic and really pep talks. And I thought that was really cool, that this is fantastic and how to do what you did well and what to work on. So good meeting, and we will almost end on time.
Yeah. Thank you. My last travel tip is a lot of natural disasters tend to happen after I leave somewhere. So travel with me, not when
All right, our rules for next week. Toastmaster is Cody. And the first speaker is Laura Lee, being evaluated by her father. Then speaker 2 is Abby